to the 8th concession. My name is Natalie. It's almost Christmas. We've had our tree for about a week or so, and it's finally time to decorate it. Now, our Christmas tree is perhaps a little different than some people's because it is a vintage Christmas tree. We like to decorate using the lights and ornaments and tinsel that are vintage. A lot of them have come from my parents. They were the things that were on the tree when I was growing up, so they're very sentimental for me, and other things we've collected. So let me show you what we've got. So I'm going to start with our vintage lighted angel that goes on the top of the tree. This is porcelain for the hands and the head, and she lights up, and she's been gracing our tree for a long time. And then the lights we're going to use on our tree are not the modern LEDs. They are still the old-fashioned bulbs. Now, they do get a little hotter than the LEDs. They use a bit more electricity. I do know there are some companies now that are creating LED bulbs that look like the old-fashioned ones, the same size, the same colors, and perhaps we'll look into switching over to those in future years, maybe when these stop working, but for now these are still working well. So first I'm going to put the lights on the tree. Now the next thing I'm going to do to make this a truly vintage Christmas tree is I'm going to add some tin light reflectors. Now these are particularly good with this type of tree because these not being LED light bulbs, they tend to get a bit hot and you don't really want them too close to the branches or needles. So these reflectors not only make them brighter, but they do give a bit of space around the light so it isn't touching anything. Now we have a bunch of these. They're punched tin. They were my parents again, although I think we got a few extras. So I'm gonna unscrew the light bulbs and put these over now that they are in the spots that I want them to be. For that, I'm gonna turn the tree off. See how much brighter the lights are when they're reflected by these little punch-out tin light reflectors? They look so pretty. The next thing to go on our vintage Christmas tree are strands of pearls. Now I was told when we used to have these that the pearls represented wishes, so putting some Christmas wishes on our tree. Now, what would a vintage Christmas tree be without vintage glass ornaments? Now, most of these come from my parents. They bought them in the 50s and 60s. Some of them have been reboxed because the boxes have fallen apart, so the boxes are younger than the ornaments. They're just so beautiful. You can see this one is called an indent ornament because it has this cavity here. These are all hand-blown glass ornaments, And the silver is from them being painted with silver nitrate. And they did that so that they would reflect the light and shine for many years. And really these are at least 60 years old and they look beautiful. There is a little bit of, tarnish here, especially at the top, you can see. But for the most part, they're still doing well. Oh, I love this one too. This sort of onion shape at the point at the bottom. This one was always my favorite. You can see the color has cracked a bit, but this always hung over the spot where my presents would go. I liked it because it looked like a candy cane. Still so beautiful. And what would vintage ornaments be without teardrop? My parents always put these at the top of the tree. I think they were worried we were going to knock them off, but I just love the shape and colors. So they're also going to go on my tree first. Here's hoping I get some presents under the tree. We're almost there. So now comes the tinsel. Now, to be perfectly honest, my parents back in the 60s used some of that. It almost looked like really thin foil type of tinsel. But we've gone even farther back than that. We have what they're calling a Victorian Christmas tree tinsel. Now, this is not antique. These are reproductions. But I love the look of them and I love the way the twists reflect the light. So first we're going to put on our twisted tin tinsel. And last but not least are our glass icicles for that extra bit of sparkle and shine. And there it is, all done. Very beautiful, vintage Christmas tree. So from all of us on the 8th concession to all of you, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a lovely holiday season. Bye for now.